You have tuned into NCC News TeXas and abroad here on Facebook. Thank you for joining us today. If you have any news in your area that you think is newsworthy, please send us the source link and destination of the story. We broadcast out of Southeast Texas, but we cover North, South, East and West Texas as well as surrounding areas. If you want to hear about the areas that you are in, let us know what your city and state is. We look forward to hearing from you. Our photojournalist is DT Collins, who has worked for or created content for television, radio and print production with over 20 years of experience. Don't forget to subscribe to NCC News TeXas. We are sponsored by NeBOE Connection and Affiliates. We are NCC News TeXas and abroad. Tune in and watch each episode as we spread the news in your area. If you have news that you want aired here on NCC News TeXas, send it to us. NeBOEmarketing@yahoo.com. We want to keep you informed through each broadcast. Here's our first story.
Beaumont doctor sentenced to 3 years of probation for attempted online solicitation of a minor. Dr. Sadiq Ali pleaded guilty in February 2024 to attempting to commit online solicitation of a minor, which is a third-degree felony. By author Gabby Gaspard, a Beaumont doctor, who was arrested in 2020 during an anti-human trafficking bust, was sentenced to probation on Monday morning for trying to solicit a minor online. Dr. Sadiq Ali of Houston was sentenced on Monday to 3 years of probation by Judge Raquel West in Jefferson County's 252nd District Court. He pleaded guilty in February 2024 to attempting to commit online solicitation of a minor, which is a third-degree felony, as part of a plea agreement, according to File Stories. The charge does not require him to register as a sex offender and the plea agreement does not stipulate it either, Judge West noted in court on Monday. Ali completed a court-ordered treatment program as part of the plea agreement. Judge West also ordered that as part of the plea agreement Ali will be placed on a curfew from 10 p.m. 6 a.m., must pay a $1,500 fine, will be forbidden from using social media and will only be allowed to use online computer services that are work-related. A La Mexicana is located inside of Fuelies. You can fill your vehicle up with gas as you pick up your breakfast or lunch. We now showcase daily specials. Our specials today are 3 soaps for $10, roast, shepherd, chicken fajita, tinga, and also our delicious pupusas, 5 for $10. Today's special, Friday, May 17th, 3 soaps for $10. You choose the meat: beef, chicken, pork pastor, asada, fajita chicken. And our pupusas are 5 for $10. 190 North 11th Street, Beaumont, Texas, 77702. 409-600-0612. We are open from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. It's registration time. FCU football and cheer registration sign up is now. For more information, call or text Frederick Jackson at 737-242-4031. Or email us at unityouthsportsorg23@gmail.com.
You are welcome to attend the services of Starlight COG/IC every Sunday morning, starting with Sunday school at 9:30 a.m. and then Sunday morning service at 11 a.m. We also have Bible study on Wednesday nights that you are also invited to attend. Pastor E.V. Lindsay and First Lady Josie Lindsay are the leaders of our ministry and would love to see you come out and enjoy the services.
2800 Bob Hall Road, Orange, Texas, 77630.
You change my walk, you change my talk, and you change my mind. You change my heart, gave me a brand new start.
Download gospel recording artist Deborah Wilson on Spotify today. Texas Medical Board suspends Beaumont physician. In a press release, the TMB determined that Dr. Salem's continuation in the practice of medicine poses a continuing threat to public welfare. By author Brett Strahan. In Beaumont, Texas, a Beaumont physician is in hot water after a disciplinary panel of the Texas Medical Board temporarily suspended a press release. The TMB STNDED his license as of May 16. The board panel found that Dr. Salem is suffering from an impairment that interferes with his ability to safely practice. This suspension stems from the board's findings that Dr. Salem committed family violence and was issued a protective order which was deemed necessary to prevent more family violence. In addition, Dr. Salem also submitted false information to the board on a renewal application. The suspension is effective immediately. A temporary suspension hearing with notice will be held as soon as practicable with 10 days notice to Dr. Salem, unless the hearing is specifically waived by Dr. Salem. This is a developing story. We will update with more if and when we receive more confirmed information. If you're looking for that good homemade tasting burger, Hamburger Depot is the place to go. Get your choice of not one or two, but get a triple patty burger with cheese. Hamburger Depot originated out of Jasper, Texas, but now can be found at several locations including Beaumont, Texas at 1652 West Cardinal Drive, Beaumont, Texas 77705.
All La Mexicana, fresh all the time, 180 North 11th Street, Beaumont, Texas. Located inside of Fulies Exxon Auto Plaza. 409-600-0612.
We offer breakfast and lunch Monday through Friday. Quellies offer competitive gas prices and open 24 hours per day, Sunday through Saturday.
Waco felon who supplied meth to girl who died of overdose sentenced to 30 years in prison. Jessica Sosa was an honor student with dreams of becoming a doctor. Story by Tommy Witherspoon. In Waco, Texas, a four-time convicted felon who supplied methamphetamine to a 16-year-old girl who died from an overdose in July 2019 was sentenced to 30 years in prison Monday. Judge Susan Kelly of Waco's 54th State District Court sentenced Colton Dale Neville, 30, in accordance with his plea bargain in the first-degree felony case with the McLennan County District Attorney's Office. Neville pleaded guilty to delivery of a controlled substance to a child causing death, which carries a maximum life prison term. Neville was convicted of providing a lethal level of methamphetamine to Jessica Sosa, an honor student with dreams of becoming a doctor. Colton Neville gave poison to teenagers, which resulted in the death of one of those kids, said First Assistant District Attorney Ryan Calvert. We treat that as a homicide rather than an accident, and Neville is a killer rather than a mere peddler of drugs. Anyone who sells drugs to minors does so at their own risk. Neville's attorney, Darren Obanowski, declined comment after Neville was sentenced. Court records show Neville has prior felony convictions for possession of a controlled substance, unlawful use of a motor vehicle, theft and burglary of a habitation, misdemeanor convictions for theft and burglary of a motor vehicle, and multiple arrests for burglary of motor vehicles, which were factored into his 5-year sentence for burglary of a habitation in April 2020. Calvert also told the court Neville's plea agreement precludes him from being charged with having a prohibited sexual relationship with Sosa, who was a minor. Calvert said Sosa grew up in the Rosebud Lot area but was living in Michigan with her mother. She had returned to the Central Texas area to spend the summer with her best friend, Cheyenne Fulton, who also lived in the Rosebud Lot area. Fulton was an acquaintance of Neville and she introduced him to Sosa, Calvert said. The trio used drugs at Neville's apartment in the 2800 block of Madison Drive in Waco and also at a motel room on New Road that Neville rented to celebrate Fulton's 18th birthday. Cheyenne introduced Jessica to Neville and Neville introduced both of them to methamphetamine. On the night Sosa died, Neville put the powerful stimulant in capsules and they took the capsules together. Sosa and Fulton left Neville's apartment and were driving when Sosa started having an extreme reaction to the drugs that rendered her incapable of speaking. Fulton decided to drive back to Neville's apartment, but Sosa died on the way and paramedics were unable to resuscitate her. An autopsy report showed Sosa died from the toxic effects of methamphetamine. Fulton was arrested later on drug charges in an unrelated incident and was placed on probation. She currently is in a locked-down drug rehabilitation program within the walls of the Texas prison system as part of her probation.
If you are pulled over by the police while driving, it's important to remain calm and follow some general guidelines to ensure a safe and smooth interaction with law enforcement. Here are some steps you should consider taking when pulled over by the police. 1. Pull over safely. When you see the police car's lights flashing behind you, slow down and find a safe place to pull over. Use your turn signal to indicate your intention to pull over. 2. Stay inside your vehicle. Remain inside your vehicle unless asked to step out by the officer. Keep your hands visible on the steering wheel, and avoid making sudden movements. 3. Be polite and respectful. When the officer approaches your vehicle, be polite, respectful, and cooperative. Follow the officer's instructions and provide requested documents such as your driver's license, registration, and insurance. 4. Communicate clearly. Answer the officer's questions clearly and truthfully. If you need to reach for something in the glove compartment or elsewhere, inform the officer of your actions before doing so. 5. Avoid confrontations. Stay calm and composed during the interaction. Avoid arguing, making excuses, or becoming confrontational with the officer. If you disagree with the officer's actions, you can address the issue through proper channels later. 6. Know your rights. You have the right to remain silent and the right to refuse a search of your vehicle. If you choose to exercise these rights, do so respectfully and calmly. 7. Follow instructions. If the officer issues a citation or ticket, accept it peacefully. You can contest the ticket in court if you believe it was unjust. 8. Stay safe. If you feel unsafe or uncomfortable during the interaction, you can take note of the officer's name, badge number, and patrol car number. You can also ask for a supervisor to be present. Remember that the goal of the interaction is to ensure everyone's safety and to address any potential violations of the law. Following these guidelines can help make the interaction with law enforcement as smooth and safe as possible.
We open at 11 a.m. here at Rosie's Soul Food and we won't disappoint you. You can smell all the deliciousness from the parking lot. Our customers are enjoying our meatloaf, black-eyed peas, navy beans, and cornbread and snacking on peach cobbler. We are ready to serve lunch starting at 11 a.m. Come on by if you're in the area. Jefferson County Sheriff's Office warns of new scam going around Southeast Texas. Author Brett Strahan writes, the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office is warning residents to be vigilant of a scammer who is calling people and claiming to be a JCSO deputy. JCSO says they have received multiple complaints of a man making these calls and then trying to scam citizens out of their money. The scam itself is relatively straightforward. The fake deputy calls someone and tells them that they have a warrant out for their arrest, usually for a missed jury date. However, to avoid arrest they can pay the fine up front. In terms of payment, the scammer will usually instruct the victim to purchase a cash card, so they can't be traced, and take care of the fine by phone. As soon as you purchase the card and give the scammer your information, your money is already gone. The JCSO says to never immediately go to the store and purchase a cash card to pay over the phone. This is usually the first indication you are dealing with a scammer. Remember, no law enforcement agency will never try to solicit funds over the phone for any purpose. The JSCO says that these phone numbers appear to be coming from a 409 area code. However, spoof apps can make a call seem like it is coming from anywhere. Never give anyone personal information over the phone in any scenario, and be sure to watch for the warning signs when receiving suspicious phone calls. This is a developing story.
You have tuned into NCC News TeXas and abroad here on Facebook. Thank you for joining us today. If you have any news in your area that you think is newsworthy, please send us the source link and destination of the story. We broadcast out of Southeast Texas, but we cover North, South, East and West Texas as well as surrounding areas. If you want to hear about the areas that you are in, let us know what your city and state is. We look forward to hearing from you. Our photojournalist is DT Collins, who has worked for or created content for television, radio and print production with over 20 years of experience. Don't forget to subscribe to NCC News TeXas. This concludes our broadcast. Tune in and watch each episode as we spread the news in your area. If you have news that you want aired here on NCC News TeXas, send it to us. We want to keep you informed through each broadcast.